What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, July 28th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Shit, sorry about that. We are running hot. We are up double-digit units in the second half of the season. We've only had one losing day in the second half of the season last Thursday. The only losing day we've had. I am pumped up. My children had a very difficult night last night. I've got a pigeon trying to fly, a baby pigeon learning to fly on my balcony. Thank God for baseball and capping with you guys to keep me focused and to keep me calm when I'm doing everything else in life. Because it doesn't matter what goes on out there. I have this right here with you guys, and that means fucking world to me. We're coming off a big day. 7 wins and 3 losses with a voided pitch change, plus 3.75 units. The TAINT hit its 3rd straight win. Jose hit his 4th straight win. And he better be taking this shit seriously. Because he's finally digging himself out of the hole that he created. So he better be taking this shit fucking seriously. Or I'm going to lose my shit. And those of you who've been with me for 4 years now know that when I don't get much sleep, I'm more emotional. And that means sometimes I lose my shit. So Jose better be taking this fucking winning streak seriously. I know he's listening right now. You take this winning streak seriously, or I will lose my shit. Hitting at 55% on the year right now. 55% on the year. 41 games over 500. 224 wins, 183 losses, plus 17.64 units. ROI plus 4.33%. Average line minus 112. Also, I have let go of MLB.com. MLB.com is a fucking mess. Only Fangraphs. And we're back to using the last 30 days and bullpens against left-handed pitching, against right-handed pitching. Now, using Fangraphs takes me a little bit more time, but who cares? Because we're making bank, baby. Tell my wife to shut it. Cashing over here, so shut the fuck up. Sammy Culmer in the house. What's happening, Sammy? Brian Watson ready to get to work. There's Raymond Reddington. Play of the day, Marlins. Team total over 4.5. I've already made 7 bets. All first 5s. And I really like the card. I really like my card. But we'll see. There's Clint Starr, the Die Hard MMA podcast, fresh off a plus 26 unit Saturday. Unbelievable. But if you know anything about Clint, the man puts in his work. He puts in his work. He's always honest and transparent. He cares so much about succeeding and putting money in our pockets, and that makes it very believable. Walla Dose in the house. John Chow ready to get to work. There's Robert Allen, Ross Pitts, Matty Ice hitting 3 straight. We all said this was going to happen. He's turning it around. Puzzler in the house. Matty says he loves this card today. There's Brian Watson. Nut Flush Allen. There is our guy TJ. Says since you're making, I don't want to get too. I don't want to slap myself on the back until the season's over, but it feels real good right now, TJ. Back 9. TJ will be making an appearance on the back 9. Very, very, very exciting. That is 3 p.m. Eastern today. Billy Friedrich says Jose needs to be yelled at until he loses. He needs to be yelled at twice as much. Okay. That puts Jose in a tough spot. Puts him in a tough spot. We have Sharpie making a special guest appearance on the show. Guapo, man. There's Luke Murphy back in action. Luke Murphy's new book, Finders Keepers, new novel, Finders Keepers, released last week. Get on it, low baggers. We support each other, except for Jose. Jose, we just scream at. But it's a bit of support, right? It's just tough love. Isaiah Bolton ready to get to work. Isaiah Bolton says we take in Detroit early, fade Hap. No. And I came very close to betting Hap. And I might. And I want to talk it out first. And it's probably he's a decent sized favorite, and that's why I haven't done it. But no, I do not trust Willie Peralta in this spot. Soupy Panties in the house. There's J-Rock ready to get to work. Slats45 says, sweet 3-0 night. Love tailing Jimmy and Taint. Well, I've got good news for you because I just saw what Taint was, and we're both on the same bet yet again today. And if you guys know us in our history, that's not a very common occurrence, and it's an exciting one. Kenny V says, Loshak with the Cardinals pick clutch. Yes, Loshak had some nice winners yesterday, but heads up against our man Jose. Took the L. Leroy Flood. Yes, it was great. Let's keep it going. All right, we got tons of work to do. And there it is. Taint play of the day. There it is. Diamondbacks, first 5, money line -105. Now I got -110. I planned on it for a long time. I didn't bet it until about, 45 minutes ago. Market wasn't moving. I didn't need to panic. I'm on the exact same look. In the controlled environment with the roof closed at Globe Life. I'm nervous about backing Bumgarner, but I like him better than Lyles. I'm on Taint, baby. That's right. Taint and I rocking together. Isaiah Bolton ready to go. Rob McMahon eating, baby. All right. Okay, we've got tons of work to do right now. Tons of work. We got Taint in. Overbleeperate you and step on your balls. I think we're going a little too far. There's a B ready to work. YouTube everything. Rodney Barton. North Ender says, we all crushed yesterday. Let's keep it going. It felt good. Deacon says, shoot the pigeon. eBay the kids. Problem solved. This pigeon's so close to flying and getting off my balcony. All right, time to get to work. There is Turnsey in the house. Listening in the truck with his little cousin. Respect to both of you. Families that cap together, stay together. All right, we got to get to work. All right. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Stan Lynch is on the Brew Crew. Pirates are even more of a fade now after throwing in the towel, trading Frazier and now Anderson. I can't wait to break down all the games. And Not Flush says, don't be nervous. Bum will cash. Beautiful. Barry Smith on Reds -2. Great to see Barry Smith. OG low bagger says Dodgers get a win today. I was on them. Excuse me. I'm on them now. First 4.5 minus a half at -120. I'm on the Dodgers with Walker Buehler, but we cashed that full game under very, very easily yesterday. It was wonderful. Okay, I'm sorry, Stan Lynch. I'll try to stop yelling, and when I do yell, I'll try to yell sort of away from the mic. But look, how else do we keep Jose sharp and winning? All right, let's get to work. Quick review of yesterday. St. Louis, Cleveland, under 9 cash. Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, under 8.5, avoided with the pitching change. Washington, Philly, first 5 over 5.5, cash. Washington, first 5, cash. Arizona, Texas, first 5 under 4.5, loss. Miami, Baltimore, first 5 under 5, loss. Cardinals, -120, full game, cash. Cincinnati, Chicago, first 5 over 5.5, cash. Colorado, LA Angels, over 9, cash. Dodgers, San Francisco, under 8.5, cash. Oakland, San Diego, first 5 under 4.5 was a loser. 7-3 plus 3.75 units. Taint, cash, 3 straight. Jose, cash, 4 straight. Let's get to work right now. Thank you all so much for joining us. Not only joining us, but sharing your insights, your humor, your angles in the chat. We work together to defeat the juice. And it feels good because we are succeeding in our plan. All right, let's go. Stan Lynch, no, those are 7-inning games. right now. Damon Santori says that Tatis home run was the furthest ball I've ever seen live. Ball jumps off the bat differently for a guy his size. He's a monster. And Brandon Cummings has Diamondbacks' first 5 win margin by 1 to 2 runs at plus 290 at FanDuel Sportsbook. I love that. All right, Real Deal Prime. You said it. Let's get to work right now. We start at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Tigers 48-55, 20-33 on the road at the Minnesota Twins, 43-59, 24-29 at home. We're at Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 89 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 12 miles per hour sideways across the diamond. I do not believe that Willie Peralta is as good as his numbers indicate. That's a simple statement, very simple statement. Look, the veteran was possibly out of a job, and he stepped up. And I respect his season very, very much. But when I see him sitting with a 2.56 ERA and a 1.01 whip, I know he can't get strikeouts when he needs them. He's getting lucky. He's not getting barreled up on as much as I expect him to, and I do expect him to moving forward. His last start at the Royals was a tough start for him. It was against his old team, who probably knows his veteran-like tricks. He went 5 2/3, allowed 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks, and that's what I see going forward. So, no, I can't back the Tigers here, but I don't think I can back Hap, and I wanted to. I thought that it was actually, I guess, that last performance against the Angels, Ohtani was not in the lineup. And it was a weak, very weak, it was the weakest Angels lineup of the year. And he got touched early. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 home runs, 1 walk, 4 K. But he allowed those 4 runs in the first 2 innings. He allowed 3 runs in the first inning, and he got his shit together. Now, we're dealing with last 30-day stats here for everything that we're going to do with lefties, righties, and bullpen. And against lefties, the last 30 days, the Tigers are absolutely raking. 290 batting average, 816 OPS. The Twins versus righties, just 235, 728 OPS. The Tigers' bullpen last 30 has been bad. 4.82 ERA, 1.34 whip. Have converted 7 of 11 save opportunities. And Soto's been very good at the back end. The Twins bullpen, 5.27 ERA, 1.33 whip, have converted 5 of 9 save opportunities. Thank you, Brandon Cummings, my man. Michael Irvelina took Tigers first 5 money line and under 5.5 first 5. Wow. Robert Allen took Twins first 5 Tigers full game or his thoughts. Hap under 4.5 strikeouts. Real Deal Prime says money on the Tigers. Nate Dogg, Detroit money line and plus 1.5 on the run line. Real Deal Prime saying Tigers win. Luke Murphy saying always fade Hap. Okay, so the more I talk about it, the more I guess I want nothing to do with it, with the way the Tigers are hitting lefties right now. But in saying that, I wonder if the over is in play. Let's take a look at what the market is right now for first 5. We'll start looking at first 5 in this spot. We have Hap at between minus 120 and minus 130, depending on where you shop. Let's go to the total in this first 5. 12 miles per hour sideways across the diamond is the wind. With the totals in this first 5, it opened at 6 and is down to 5.5. There's Bruce Shad in the house. TJ said wanted the over. Cabrera out of the lineup, though. Great call on taking a look at these lineups. Let's pull the lineup out right now. And the more we discuss this, the more I want nothing to do with it. I don't have a confirmed Tigers lineup, but interesting here, Cabrera's not in. The Twins, Kepler, Rooker, Polanco, Seno, Larnach, Astadio, Gordon, Jeffers, and Simmons. A weak lineup for them. Slaughter's on the full game under 10. Interesting. Okay, let's pull out the baseball data here and deconstruct this game a little more. Here we go. So the Tigers against Hap are hitting 284 with an 817 OPS, and it's Haas, who was 2 for 3 with a homer. Man, he's a monster. That grand salami in the 9th inning last night. What a huge player he's going to be for this ball club. And then Willie Peralta, they're hitting 140 with a 445 OPS. 6 for 43. Yet I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. And Matty Ice saying Twins line 6-43, 139 batting average versus Peralta. Razor Sharp Picks in the house says Gambler's First Glance is locked and loaded. Video coming soon, going for 4 in a row. TJ says, where's the money? I have a sneaking suspicion it's on the under. Let's pull that up right now. Actually, let's get that here. Sorry. Shut that down for a second. Let's pull this up right now and see where the cash lies. Okay, here we go. The cash in this Detroit spot. We have 4,615 tickets in. 54% of the tickets on the Tigers, 82% of the cash on the Tigers. 57% of the tickets on the under, 76% of cash on the under. And Taron Walker off an easy gooch winner. Yeah, man. Corey Simmons with the gooch. Okay, so let's go back to this market move full game here. Money lines and totals full game. Let's take a look at this spot. And we have opening at 10.5, dropping to 10. The Twins opening up at -143 and now -120, a 15-cent move towards them. What up, Eric Jones in the house? Okay, so with everything said and done, I am not moving on this. Not moving on this. I do not trust those numbers beside Willie Peralta. And the Tigers are playing very good baseball. They're smashing lefties, but I don't trust Peralta. So that makes me think maybe an over's in play, yet it's being hammered towards the under. So I am staying off the first game on the card. Kenny V in the house saying both teams don't have major hitters in the first game. Real Deal Prime says Detroit wins. Well, I felt uncomfortable. But look, before Willie Peralta's last start, I said the exact same thing about him. Exact same thing. Now, maybe that was a tougher spot because it was against his former team. But I said the exact same thing, and he got touched in a loss. Matty Ice says Tigers full game +20 is on his card. And Gooch, play of the day is New York Mets money line. I'm on the New York Mets first 5. I was a little surprised to see how bad their bullpen's been the last 30 days. I did not expect it, so I decided just to take first 5 on the Mets. But I like your spot, Corey Simmons. All right. Nate Dogg says the Tigers are gelling and have the momentum. Look, I get it. With the way the Tigers are playing, we knew this was going to be a side that was heavily bet. And it just comes down to me not trusting Willie Peralta. All right, let's move on. Sue's 387 coming to us from Hawaii says Tigers team total over. No, because I don't think J. Happ is quite as bad as his numbers indicate. So, look, maybe that's a simple play, and maybe I'm overthinking all of this. It's very possible. But at this point, this total is being bet down. The Tigers team total sitting at 4.5 at -130. And Real Deal Prime says Happ getting hit, baby. Weather says TC, 89 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 12 miles per hour sideways across the diamond. No action for me. Game makes me very uncomfortable. We'll move on to my first bit of action, 1:10 p.m. Eastern. I'm on the cards, first 5 at -120. There was 2 bullpens that, and because of the issues I was having with the MLB.com stats, I hadn't looked at the last 30 days bullpens in about a week and a half. And the 2 bullpens I was surprised that were struggling the way they were because their teams are winning and playing well right now were the Mets and Cardinals. And when I saw that, I decided to just trust the numbers. Stan Lynch is on the under 9 and Joey Harp's on the other side. CT Baze is on the Cardinals full game. I decided to focus solely on the Cardinals first 5 -120. Let's break this down. Cardinals 51-50, 23-30 on the road at the Indians, 49-49, 25-23 at home. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio, 79 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour in. Kwang Yun Kim on the bump, pitching very well. 6-5, 2.88 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, 84 1/3, 67 Ks, 28 walks, 6 home runs. His last start at home versus the Cubs was a nice one. He went 6 innings. He allowed 2 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 1 walk with 7 Ks, going up against Zach Plesac. Plesac coming off a tough start. He went 6 2/3, allowed 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, just 3 Ks, and a 10-5 loss at home versus the Rays. On the year, he's got a 4.30 ERA, a 1.06 whip, and just 48 Ks in 75 1/3. He's like similar to Willie Peralta, and then he just can't get the strikeouts when he needs them, but he can get soft contact. He has allowed 13 home runs in 75 1/3. The Cards are smashing righties, smashing them. In the last 30 days, 269, 777 OPS. Indians versus lefties, their numbers are improving. Now, since the spider tack stuff, all teams are hitting lefties much harder than they were. A 251, 729 OPS. Cards bullpen, last 30 days, this may surprise you, 5.35 ERA, 1.54 whip. The Indians bullpen, which I had assumed was getting hit very hard, seems to have kind of figured their shit out. 4.09 ERA, 1.36 whip, converted 4 of 11. Save opportunities. Key and VP, that's your first comment that I've seen. So reading it now. Matty Ice says Cards full game money line is on his card. There's Vincente Gigante in the house. And Turnsy saying the Rusty Kuntz play of the day will be coming in soon. Jessica Easton says, I'm with you. Trust the numbers, which is what I'm doing. Michael Irvelina took Cardinals full game and the under 9. Let's get a 1-0 game. We cashed very comfortably on the under yesterday. Today, I'm just on the first 5. I got it at minus 120. Let's take a look at the market move right now. We have the total opening up at 9, and there's 8.5s on the board. There are 8.5s on the board at about 50% of the books. And initially, the Cleveland Indians were slight favorites in this spot. And now they're real legitimate dogs here. CT Bay says Cardinals offense is healthy. Rodney Bart liking the Cardinals on the run line. Oh, wow. It's Von Polo's wife. Beautiful. Nice. Keaton VP. Beautiful. Von Polo's wife. See, that's a perfect example. Couples that cap together stay together. I love it. Respect and much respect to your husband as well. And as soon as I can get down to Charm City, I'm going to come out and hang out with you guys. Okay. Enough Flashana said, I was saying it yesterday, Cards are money on team total overs. Molina missed a grand slam by 5 feet left. Keep your eyes on them and cash it. Also, Gas Station Sushi said he was going to flat bet the Cardinals as soon as that second half started. He started doing that with that Giant series, and they were plus money and won 2 of 3 of those. Okay, so let's go to Baseball Daddy here against Kwang Young Kim. The Indians haven't seen him, and only Jose Rondon has seen Zach Plesac. So I guess that would lead you to an under. But I was a little taken aback by how bad the Cards bullpen was. So now let's go to the cash flow situation here. St. Louis, Cleveland, 3,908 tickets in. 63% of the tickets and 64% of the cash on the Cardinals, the market moving in their direction. Then we have 48% of the tickets on the over and 88% of the cash on the over. Now, was that when the market moved to 8.5? Was a huge bet put on? That's something that we don't know. Oh, I love that key MVP. I promise it is in our future. Love you guys. There's Tease in the house. And Billy Pilgrim says, Flaherty pitched shutout at AAA Memphis yesterday. He is back soon. Kenny V says, my wife only bets UFC. I'm trying to bring her to the dark side, as you should. Okay, so there we go. Let's see what Robert's saying. He's really pissed off at the GM for not trying to be a winning team and trading away their closer. That might affect the Mariners in a bad way. Jeff Slaughter says weird because my old lady left me after I hit my biggest bet ever. She took the money and ran. Yeah, well, that's the Rosie Perez monologue, right? From White Men Can't Jump. Sometimes when you win, you really lose. Okay, let's keep rolling here. I'm on the Cards, first 5 minus 120, and I can understand why others are on the full game, and I can understand why we'll just hammer the Cardinals from here on out. Let's move on to the double dip. Now, the double dip in the Jays game was not giving us odds. Let's see if they're out now, and they are out now. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to start with that first game. Game 1. It pops off at 2:10 p.m. Eastern, and this will conclude the afternoon action on the MLB card. Toronto Blue Jays at Boston Red Sox. Jays are 49-47, 27-25 on the road. Boston Red Sox 62-39, 32-20 at home. We're at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. 70 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour in. This some stats, alarming stats. Some alarming stats. 1, in the last 30 days, the Toronto Blue Jays have had 3 save opportunities, the lowest in Major League Baseball. I'm as angry as any other Blue Jay fan that the Rogers, the company that owns the Jays, has not invested in pitching. But I certainly wouldn't do it now. Next year, the Blue Jays should have future bets on them everywhere. Division, AL, World Series. I'd expect them over the offseason to make major investments in the starting pitching. But right now, this team is unlikely to make the playoffs. Now, a Blue Jay fan might be sitting there saying, what about in 2015? We'd make the Tulowitzki trade and, make a huge run. And look, this is the type of team that's capable of that if they were to pick up a Max Scherzer or somebody of that ilk. Nate Dogg says Jays win both games. AJS said Blue Jays struggle against better teams. I think there's truth to that. And Turnsey, full game in a 7-inning game. Take the bullpen out of it. Rusty Kuntz, play of the day is Jays in game 1. And there's Robert Cherry in the house. St. Louis first 5 plus a half. Seattle first 5 plus a half. Oakland first 5 plus a half. Philly first 5 minus half. LA first 5 minus half. Dodgers first 5 under 3.5. Lecce. I will copy and paste that, Robert Cherry. Thank you for sharing all that. But I said before in the preseason that I was not going to invest in any future bets on the Jays until I saw the ownership invest in them. And then when I see that there is 3 save opportunities over the last 30 days, I think, maybe I wouldn't sell the farm to invest in them right now. Okay, Robbie Ray, we talked about him yesterday. We talked about this game a lot yesterday, and I was so fascinated to see it bang out. I have trouble when pitchers see their opponent a second straight time. And I talked about the simplicity of a possible angle, that if they have bad starts, they tend to have better ones. And if they have a really good start, they tend to have a worse one. And that's just a simple angle. There's that's MVR24 in the house. Kenny B says, I'm following Jose's pick from yesterday, so it's Boston or pass. Robbie Ray, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 homers, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and 7-4 loss at home versus Boston. Now he's at Fenway Park. 70 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour in. Going up against Garrett Richards. Now, Robbie Ray's had this spectacular year. 142 Ks and 112 in the third and just 27 walks. But he's allowed 23 home runs in 112 in the third innings. Going up against Garrett Richards. What a roller coaster ride Garrett Richards had the last 5 weeks. They have the spider tack issues. His velocity drops 9 miles an hour on his curveball. He gets destroyed for a couple starts, and then he comes back and has an okay start, and then he gets hurt in his last start at the Jays. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 homers, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and 7-4 win. Jays in the last 30 days are hitting 273, 811 OPS versus righties. Red Sox are hitting 241, 798 OPS versus lefties. This Jays bullpen over the last 30 days, 5.08 ERA, 1.42 whip. They cannot be trusted. The Red Sox bullpen over the last 30 days has been excellent. 3.48 ERA, 1.18 whip, converted 9 of 13 save opportunities. Danny A also says Red Sox or pass. Joshua Wilcox says catching that Tigers plus 192 ticket last night felt so good. I bet it did. What a wild, unbelievably wild grand slam that must have been for you. And then they looked like they were going to lose it in extras. Nice work. Okay, so let's go into the odds here for game 1. Jays open up at minus 133 at Pinnacle. They're now minus 145, a 12-cent move towards them. This total opened up juiced to the over 8.5. It's now juiced to the under 8.5. Let's go to baseball data here. Against Robbie Ray, 244 with a 956 OPS, 29 for 119. We talked about this yesterday. Of those 29 hits, 19 are for extra bases and 13 are for homers. Garrett Richards, 297 average, 838 OPS against him. Luke Murphy says fade Richards. So let's see if we just focused on these two starters to get touched on the first 5. We would be getting 6. Yeah, I think 6 runs are going to be scored in the first 5. And the full game sitting at 7.5. Christopher Comentini says the wind blowing in. 8 miles per hour, 2 pretty decent. I was going to stay off this game yesterday. I knew everybody was on the over. The tickets aren't really going to help us here. I'm not going to look at them because they still count yesterday's tickets, so let's just let them be. But it was heavy on the over and heavy on Boston. Vital says Richards comes in today with a FIP of 4.92, and the Blue Jays are number 3 on the RBI list. Yes, this is a 7-inning game, Kenny V. All right, so look, I get why anybody would be on this first 5 over 6. But I'm very, very, very hesitant to move on it. So I don't plan to. Okay, so that's game 1. Let's see what changes in game 2. We have Steven Matz going up against Tanner Houck. If the Jays win game 1, I want Tanner Houck in game 2. I know he didn't complete 5 innings in either of those starts against the Yankees, but going up against the Yankees in a high-pressure situation, back-to-back, I was very impressed. His last start against them, 4 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, wasn't earned, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. We heard our man Jose talk about the skill of this guy, and look, it was clearly evident. I've got to make a note here for Jose's game that he is breaking down so I don't mess that up. And we have Sharpie coming on here in a moment. Matt's Houck. So Matt's, and the wind dies down. So remember that the wind goes down to 4 miles per hour for the second game. Steven Matz coming off an emotional loss at the Mets, the team he was drafted for, the team he came up with, the team he wanted to play his career for, and he played well. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Is this a letdown spot? I don't know. But Tanner Houck is somebody that I want to back. Again, we have the same numbers, righties versus lefties. Will it help the Red Sox that they see a lefty in Robbie Ray and then see a lefty in Steven Matz? I think it will. So, I want the Red Sox in game 2. And I would want them even more if they lose in game 1. And I'm very unlikely to bet it early. I'm very unlikely to bet it early. So I like this spot here. I'm going to put question marks beside it, and we move on. 3:40 p.m. Eastern is next up. Houston Astros at Seattle Mariners. Astros are 62-40, 28-20 on the road at Seattle Mariners, 55-47, 33-22 at home. And I took the first 5 under 4.5 in this spot. Viper MB says Mets gets rocked. And Kyle Wright says, don't bet doubleheader unless there's a monster offensive explosion in game 1 and take game 2 under. I know that the long-term ROI has been quite nice with that spot. And there we have it. Gambler's First Glance is in, going for 4 straight. And you can catch this video on our Pub Sports YouTube page. Seattle moneyline at +110 versus Houston. Billy Friedrich on Seattle first 5. And I completely understand backing Seattle first 5. I completely get it. And I get backing Seattle full game. But the Astros scare me. The Astros just scare me. And this is going to be a playoff type game. And I'm on the first 5 under 4.5. Let's break this down. Oh, first off, I did not give you guys the baseball data against those starters in the game 2. Let's just give it to you of that very quickly here. Where are we? There we go. Against Mats, the Red Sox are hitting .347 with a .967 OPS, and the Jays haven't seen Houck. I really want the Red Sox in game 2 here. All right. So MDR24 says Astros first 5 official play. Robert Allen says Houston's going to dominate the Mariners today. The Mariners' heads are totally messed up right now in the locker room. Guys were crying last night. Wow, I didn't know it was to that extreme, Robert Allen. I'm a little surprised about that. Okay, so for me, and the reason why I think a team will be backing the Mariners, or a capper would be backing the Mariners, is because of Kikuchi and his ability to get the Astros out. He's 6-5 on the year, 3.95 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, 109 in the third, 117 Ks, 36 walks, 20 homers. Yeah, I know they traded Graveman. I know that. I know the situation. I just, I didn't know that they were so hurt. MDR 24 says Astros raked today first 5. So this is why I'm on the other side of MDR 24. And there's nothing wrong being on the other side of each other. It's a fun thing about capping. Last start for Kikuchi, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 12 Ks in the 4-3 win at home versus the A's. In the last 30 days, the Astros are hitting .231 with a .621 OPS versus lefties. We knew that they weren't hitting well against lefties, but I didn't realize they were hitting so poorly. In the last 30 days, the Mariners are hitting .232 with a .691 OPS versus righties. There's Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day. Tampa Bay minus 126. Let's pop that in right there. Our Ron Crawford running hot on the show. Tampa Bay Rays. Here we go. Yankees Rays. Thank you for sharing your hard work with us, Ron. Very interesting, Robert Allen, and that's important, and thank you for sharing that with us. But let's talk about the Astros have not been hitting lefties. The Astros bullpen also last 30 days, 4.80 ERA, 1.36 WHIP, have converted 7 of 10. Mariners bullpen last 30 days, 3.23 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, converted 9 of 12. Now they don't have Graveman, but we'll get into that. Let's go to baseball data. Kikuchi is the only lefty I can think of offhand that completely dominates this Astros club. Kikuchi against these guys, they're hitting 194 against them with a 610 OPS. They're 18 for 93. 93 at-bats with 7 extra base hits. He's been extremely impressive against them. And then you look at the big bats. Altuve is 2 for 13 with a double and a home run. 2 for 13. Correa, 3 for 10. Brantley, 1 for 14. He gets them. He gets them out. Now, and Jason Folks says, if you've taken a look at Seattle's lineup, best of luck, guys. No way I can back them. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 125. I need Jake Odorizzi to have a good start. They're not taking these Mariners lightly. The Mariners are now 55 and 47, 8 games over 500. Odorizzi is coming off a rough start at home versus the Rangers, 4 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, no homers, 2 walks, 6 Ks. And Neil P says Astros at a great price. So let's move over to the odds in this spot. The under is being bet. There's been a 13-cent move to the first 5 under 4.5. Now let's go, and that's a big move for first 5s at this time of day. Now let's go to full game in this spot. Astros Mariners. Astros open up at minus 130. They're now minus 113, a 17-cent move towards the Mariners. This total was initially juiced to the over 8.5. It's now juiced to the under 8.5. Mike M says Odorizzi taking bad road losses, 3 innings, 1 K versus White Sox, 2 Ks versus Guardians, 3 versus Tigers. Like that Seattle first 5 and the under. Robert Allen says, that all being said, I like Kikuchi a lot better than Odorizzi. Kikuchi, 109 innings, 117 Ks, 3.45 ERA. Okay. Razor Sharp Pick says Seattle just traded their closer and Houston's minus 112 right now. What is it, Christmas already? I don't think so. Now let's go to the market. And actually, we didn't go over Odorizzi against these guys. Odorizzi, they're hitting 205 with a 786 OPS. They're 9 for 44. Now, 6 of those 9 hits are for extra bases, but they're 9 for 44. Now let's take a look at where the cash lies and see if we can understand the market movement. 46% of the tickets and 30% of the cash on the Mariners, you had a 17-cent move towards them. Very interesting. Then we have 30% of the tickets on the under and 66% of the cash on the under. So big bets coming in on the under. So I'm very comfortable with where I stand on this game. Now, I don't like the juice. Look, I had to pay a lot of juice for it. So I guess I wouldn't say I'm too comfortable. TJ says the line is begging for Astros money. Clearly, it's begging for Astros money. Now, look, when lines are begging for one team's money, it doesn't mean that they're guaranteed to lose. But it's a red flag. It's a red flag, and I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 and minus 125. Let's move on. We move on to 4:10 p.m. Eastern. Oakland Athletics, 56-46, 26-22 on the road at the San Diego Padres, 59-44, 34-19 at home. We're at Petco Park in San Diego, California. And this brings us to Guapo Man appearance. Our man, David Sharp, Guapo Man in the house with his Dirty K prop of the day. Please welcome to the show, Sharpie in the house, baby. Guapo Man, how are you?
Hey, just another day, guys. Shout out to the chat. Smash that like I smashed them BBWs, fellas. Let's get it.
Let's get it. 77 Fahrenheit clears, 11 miles per hour, sideways in. We have Sean Manaea going up against Blake Snell. And I moved on the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 120. Manaea coming off a monster start at the Mariners. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, solo shot, 3 walks, and 13 Ks in a 4-1 win. He's had a great year. 3.16 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, 128 Ks, and 116 2/3. Going up against Blake Snell. The very interesting statistics that Blake Snell brings to the table on the year. 4.93 ERA, 1.56 WHIP, 104 Ks, and 80 1/3. His home road splits are alarming, and we'll go over them. He's also coming off 4 straight road starts, which I have some ideas about that. But first and foremost, Sharpie, who are you focusing on with your Dirty K prop of the day, Manaea or Snell?
We're going with Blake Snell, guys. Blake Snell at home is another monster at that. He's got an ERA of 1.5 or close to 2, somewhere around there, right off the top of the head. But Snell at 6.5, his last 5 games, he's only gone up against one team who's been near the 27% K rate. And that was the Miami Marlins last week. He got 8, guys. It's at 6.5. It's even money up to plus 115 I'm seeing. I love it, and I'm going to hit it hard. We got Rockies, Dodgers, Phillies, Nats were his last 4 games. 22% K rate or lower, guys, or lower. Then we get Miami Marlins, who are at a 6.5 walk percentage and a 26% K. He hit 8. Oakland matches those same numbers, guys. They're at a 6.7 walk percentage the last 15 and near the 26% K rate. We got Manaea. He should go 6 innings himself. That's 3 batter spots. That he ain't used to pitching. We should have 2 strikeouts there. I see an easy 7 from Snell today.
I like it. So first off, at home, Blake Snell on the year, 3-0 with a 1.43 ERA. Opponents batting 167 off him, compared to an 8.02 ERA and a 3.02 opponent's batting average. Now, he did sort of right the ship a little bit in his last start at the Marlins. A's versus lefties last 30 days, 210 with a 656 OPS. Padres versus lefties last 30 days, 271 with an 808 OPS. A's bullpen last 30 days, exceptional. 2.39 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. Padres bullpen is being good, and they've had the best overall numbers for the year. 3.61 ERA, 1.37 WHIP. Okay, so back to Blake Snell here. Let's go over it to the baseball data, and I want to bring up a question here. So with Blake Snell, they're hitting .093 against them. 268 OPS. They are 4 for 43 with 14 strikeouts in those 43 at-bats. And the question then comes, well, why don't I just bet the Padres first 5 or full game? So let's take a look at San Diego here. They open up at minus 143. There's been a 15-cent move towards the A's. Now, what concerned me and took me off of betting the Padres, and now I'm very thankful when I see the market move towards the A's, is that pitching at home is all about getting into your routine. And 4 weeks off, which includes the All-Star break. So now we have Blake Snell not pitching at home for over a month, and that's what gave me a little bit of cold feet. That's the only thing that gave me cold feet. The only thing. Do you have any concern with the fact that he hasn't pitched at home now for over a month?
Actually, I think that type of kid needs rest. And I think the couple weeks off should help him. He's the type of guy that you would want to back up first five at home. His first and second time through the lineups, he's a monster, guys. It's that third time through he falls apart. And the Rays have always known about that. That's why in the World Series, they pulled him versus the Dodgers third time through when he was on his way to winning the World Series Game 6 and forcing a Game 7. Padres are just dumb. They don't go by analytics, guys. They leave him out there to get fried, even though his whole history states he cannot see a fucking batting order the third time. So, especially with you saying how Oakland's batting versus lefties right now, I like the Padres' first five, maybe even minus a half run to get it down to the even money. But I know a lot of sharps back Manaea, and that's why all the money's coming on Manaea, and they're a fade of Snell type. But Snell at home and coming off of that game versus Miami, he was really good versus Miami, and Oakland has the same exact numbers, if not worse.
2,736 tickets in, 57% of the tickets on the Padres, 75% of the cash on the Padres, and a double-digit market move towards the A's.
Stay away, stay away.
Alarming. 51% of the tickets on the under, 94% of the cash on the under. And I could easily have taken this full game, but the Padres offense scares the shit out of me. Now, I've cashed Padres full game unders. I did 2 days ago. But in saying that, they scare me. They frighten me, and I don't want to mess with them. So I'm only on the first five under 4.5 at minus 120. Take it away, Sharpie.
Did you say that 90% of the money was on the under also?
Right now, we have 94% of the cash on the under.
Has it moved one bit?
Yes, it's moved down a half run.
Okay, so that's not too alarming then. Okay, sweet. So, yeah, the Padres' first five, they're screaming for Padres money. That's a stay off.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. A lot of talk here about that Cubbies game. We're going to get up there shortly, but I love this spot. Dirty K prop of the day. Dirty K sitting at 40 wins and 27 losses at 59.7%. And I know Sharpie wants to be over that 60% spot, and he's firing today. What is the line that we give you for the Dirty K prop?
Just give me even money, but I know everyone else out there will get plus money, so it's a good day to get on.
Eric Rosas jumping on it as well, says, I like it. El Guapo, Sharpie Bets joining us. I love the man. You're going to see a lot more of him on our channel. Sharpie, where can they find you on Twitter?
You guys can find me at Sharpie's Bets. You guys can find me kicking it in the Discord at Pub Sports Radio. But do know, I find all these BBW jokes offensive. Don't they have enough on their plate?
Beautiful work. There he is. David Sharp in the house. Sharpie's Bets, kicking it in the Discord all day. Find him there. And Maxwell Smart and Boston Nick and a bunch of great cappers are there. Shout out to Sharpie. And huge shout out to Don't Ask, Don't Tell. What a great guy. Thank you so much for the support. It is enormously helpful to us all. It says PSR is so vital for my bankroll. We love you, Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And thank you for your support. All right, so those are my back-to-back first five under 4.5s. And I wasn't going to let what happened to me yesterday affect my plan. And yesterday, all my three losses, I went 7-3 plus 3.75 units. All three of my losses were on first five unders. And I'm not going to let that get in the way of my action. Now, I did cash on a full game under. I did cash on two full game unders. But I'm not going to let that get in the way of the success that we've been getting in all year. Dirty K prop of the day, Snell, over 6.5 Ks. And I'm on the first five under 4.5 slaughter. Okay. Oh, no. Eric Chang said, still coming from the other night when I got drunk on the strip. Woke up on a random staircase of a random apartment complex. Lost my phone, vape pen, and shirtless. Eric Chang, nice to have you back. Nice to have you back. Let's get that cash back for you. Here we go. Next up, we have the New York Yankees at Tampa Bay Rays, and our man Ron Crawford on this show has now hit 5 straight spreadsheet plays of the day. He swept all of last week. Then he won on Tuesday. Spreadsheet play of the day. Tampa Bay Rays minus 126 from our Ron Crawford. Let's break this game down. Yankees 52-47, 25-24 on the road at Tampa Bay Rays, 60-41, 30-19 at home. We're at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Nestor Cortes. He's a pitcher that I want to back. He's a pitcher that I wanted to back. When I started watching him this year, I was extremely impressed. When he would be pulled early, he would be upset about it. I don't like that. I don't think you should, show up the manager. He would be upset about it. But then he would sit on the top of the dugout cheering on every single play for the rest of the game. And I thought, God, I like this guy's character. Now, Nestor Cortes was on the COVID list, right? Let me just confirm that Nestor Cortes was on the COVID list. Yes. So Nestor Cortes was on the COVID list. Polo this, polo that. Thank you very much for the extremely kind words. Robert Cherry, I didn't back Wheeler, and we'll get to that very soon. Here we go. And look at Renee saying Nationals are on the highest contact rate and lowest K lists. Okay, so here we go. I know that Cortes was rolling. And we talk about staying in your routine and continuity for these pitchers. And when something happens and they follow that routine, I get nervous. Nervous enough not to back Cortes here. Michael Wacha, 2-2, 5.16 ERA, 1.34 WHIP, 66 in the third, 57 Ks, 18 walks, 14 home runs. Doug Reed. All right, Doug Reed. Thank you, my friend. Michael Wacha last start was okay. 5-4 win at home versus the Orioles. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 homers, 0 walks, 2 Ks. Yankees versus righties. Listen to this. Yankees versus righties over the last 30 days are hitting 206 with a 645 OPS. So when the spider tack and the sticky stuff issues all came out, everybody started smashing righties except for the Yankees. The Rays versus lefties, 236, 720 OPS. They're actually hitting better against lefties, still with a high strikeout rate. Then we go to the second problem with the Yankees. Bullpen, 5.90 ERA, 1.43 WHIP, have converted just 4 of 10 save opportunities. Rays bullpen last 30 days, 3.61 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, have converted 4 of 6 save opportunities. Jeff T says, considering the Yankees team total over 3.5. Look, I get that. So here are my problems with this game. I don't like that Cortes is out of his routine when he was rolling. I don't like the way the Yankees are hitting righties. And then I don't trust Michael Wacha on the mound. Seeing the spreadsheet play today on Tampa Bay makes me want to back Tampa Bay. Sure. But I'm not going to back him, I don't think. And I didn't know that Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day was on the Rays, so maybe it has me thinking now. Okay, so let's move over to baseball data here and see what we get. Against Nestor Cortes, they're hitting 292 with a 1.122 OPS. Against Michael Wacha, 217 with a 714 OPS. Wacha's been good against the Yankees. So let's go to the cash flow and see what we are dealing with, and let's go with the market move. So in this Rays game, the Rays opened up at minus 141. They're now minus 125, a 16-cent move towards the New York Yankees. And we've seen these market moves go up against a spreadsheet play today often, and not an ounce of fear do we ever see from Ron Crawford in respect to Ron. This total at 8.5 and minus 112. It opens now. It's at minus 115, a 3-cent move to the over. So we go to this. So we see the market move towards the Rays, and why wouldn't it be? See the market move towards the Yankees, right? What am I saying? 141. It opens at Pinnacles now. So a 16-cent move towards the Yankees, and here we go. We have 43% of the tickets on the Yankees and 17% of the cash, and yet the market's moving towards the Yankees. Then we have 46% of the tickets on the under and 73% of the cash. A 3-cent move to the over. So I'm off this spot. There's a lot of spots that I really, really like. There's Noli Knows in the house. MLB capping legend in the chat. God, I'd love to have him on the show, Noli, if you're ever available. I'm off the spot. And Noli, the run I've had this year in MLB, it's just carried off from our big run in the playoffs last year when I got to work with you every day. I think that's a big reason why I found success here. There's Nigel Lee in the house. All right. So Jeff T says, isn't Cortez a bullpen guy? He wants to be a starter. This is a Cuban guy with a ton of character who wants to be a starter. I like Nestor Cortez, and I would like to back him, but I'm not doing it here. Okay, we move on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern, and this is a little concerning for me because I am going up against the legend Gas Station Sushi, but Gas Station and I can both win here, and it wouldn't shock me if it works out this way because I'm on the Orioles first five. And Jorge Lopez first five. Lopez, second straight home start. I thought his home start was pretty good. It was a 6-1 win at home versus the Nationals. Now, he didn't make it to 5 innings. He just never seems to make it to 5 innings. But he went up against a National squad that's raking against righties. And he went 4 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 2 walks, and 3 Ks. Now he gets a second straight home start. And I like it. And Jordan Holloway is a 20th round draft pick who wasn't really highly thought of and doesn't have very good numbers. And I'm not entirely sure why the Marlins traded some of the pitching pieces away that they have in the past and are now using Jordan Holloway. Miami Marlins 44-57, 20-34 on the road at the Orioles, 34-65, 16-31 at home. We're at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland, 84 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 5 miles per hour in. Holloway 2-3, 3.21 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. Look, he's had a good season so far. He's allowed 1 home run in 33 2/3. His last start at home versus the Padres, he only made it through 3 2/3 against a very mighty Padres lineup. He allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, 5 walks, and 1 K. The Marlins over the last 30 days versus righties, 241, 702 OPS. Orioles versus righties last 30 days, 252, 756 OPS. The Marlins bullpen over the last 30 days has been excellent. 3.28 ERA, 1.23 up, converted 4.7. The Orioles bullpen's been bad. I want nothing to do with them. 4.79 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. Gas Station Sushi says Jorge Lopez is hammerama. I was impressed with the last start for Jorge Lopez. I really try to keep an eye out for pitchers that have a stat line that's very ugly to the eye when I know that they can come on. Matt Harvey, for instance. I've not faded Matt Harvey this year. And while it was a mistake earlier in the year, he started to pitch very well. I don't think it's a situation where I'm like, oh, I trust the Orioles brass for sticking with Jorge Lopez and sticking with Matt Harvey because they have no other options. They're not trying to spend any money. So I don't think that. TJ says another Marlins full game start. Nufflushdown says, don't start this again, Jimmy. If you start betting Baltimore again, I'm going to call you bookie. Call your bookie. Yes, Dan would accept your call, Nufflush. Okay, so here we go. I'm on the Orioles first 5 at -115. Let's break this down a little more. We're going to go into baseball data. Yes, the Orioles haven't seen Holloway. Jorge Lopez against this Marlins lineup, they're just, now the sample size is small, 18 bats, but they're 3 for 18. They're hitting 167 with a 582 OPS. On the full game here, we've seen the Orioles go from -113 to -115. So a 2-cent move towards them. And let's go to the cash flow here with the Orioles. Here we go. 1,790 tickets in. 28% of the tickets on the Orioles. 12% of the cash on the Orioles. And there's been a 2-cent move towards the Orioles. If there's all this money on the Marlins, everyone's betting the Marlins, why is the market not moving towards the Marlins? We don't have the cash flow numbers in for the total, but we do have the tickets. There's 74% of the tickets on the under. This is a move that I wanted to make. Vitalis says Orioles at home in the first 5 of the season, 19, 22, and 6 plus $203.84. There's Key and VP. I love Key. Thank you for joining us, Key. Wife of Von Polo says we might get rain here in Baltimore today. All right. And big news here from Razor Sharp Picks says on tonight's horse racing show, we're going to have special guest Bree Mott from Stable Duel on tonight at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Show starts at 7:30 p.m. Very, very exciting. Huge guest Razor Sharks being pulling in Scotty McKeever on last week. I love it, Razor. Big show. And I'm going to try to jump on late, at least hit that pick 5, late pick 5 at Assiniboia in the Dirty Pack. All right, so look, I'm on the Orioles first 5. Jeff T says Baltimore is a fave. No thanks. I'm on Orioles first 5, and I fucking love it. Let's move on. We move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee Brewers 59-42, 30-18 on the road at the Pittsburgh Pirates 38-62, 21-27 at home. PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 83 Fahrenheit, humid, 4 miles per hour out to right field. Now, we didn't know who was pitching for the Pirates because it looked like Chad Kuhl was going to get traded, and that's still going on right now. So Adrian Hauser is going to be on the bump for the Brewers. He was pulled out of the starting rotation recently, and his last appearance came out of the bullpen. He went 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 Ks, a 7-1 win at home versus the White Sox. The Pirates, over the last 30 days, have been raking against righties. Now, I know they don't have Clint Frazier in their lineup anymore, but they were hitting 256 with a 754 OPS. It's the Pirates' bullpen that's been completely falling apart. Last 30 days, 5.58 ERA, 1.67 WHIP. Clearly, they're mailing it in. Brewers bullpen, the best in Major League Baseball over the last 30 days, 2.14 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, converted 2 of 8. And Max Kranick, if my info is right. I thought Max Kranick is coming off a pretty nice start, isn't he? Let's just go over to Baseball Reference. I remember capping Max. Here we go. When his last start, 11th round pick out of high school. Yeah, he's a Pennsylvania boy. Interesting. So 11 innings, over 3 starts, 7 earned runs. So I'll have to study Max Kranick a little bit more. CT Bays on the Miami Baltimore first 5 under 5.5 says Lopez being a little better. Okay. And Max Kranick, thank you for sharing that with Vitalis. I'll have to study that further. And we've got a lot of work to do for the rest of the card, and we need to see what the lines are once they're available. Okay, so there goes Brewers, Pirates. Let's move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Washington Nationals 46-54, 19-29 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies 50-50. 30-20 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 82 Fahrenheit, clear, 6 miles per hour in. So if anybody out there is on the Phillies and is backing Zach Wheeler here, first 5 or whatever, I don't blame you. But when I looked at this game, I had flashbacks of what I would have done in the previous few years. I would have backed Zach Wheeler right away, first 5 -0.5. It's his 3rd straight home start since the All-Star break. He's coming off a great start at home versus the Braves, 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 8 Ks. But here, I don't want to do that anymore. There's enough on the national side of things, even with Trey Turner now on the COVID list or whatever, where I'm not sure if Wheeler and the Phillies should be this big of a favorite. And I knew that the public would be all over them. Millsy, do I ever wear my hat to the back? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I do a bit. Yeah. I mean, I've got like lights, 3 movie set lights set up here. So sometimes cappers have to wear the hat backwards because they don't have all the lights set up. But I got the lights set up, so I get to wear them. Okay. Viper says Wheeler will get cooked. So Vital says Corbin comes in with a 5.11 FIP. Don't blame anyone backing Phillies. They always burn me. TJ says, I can't decide whether to take Phil's first 5 team total over 2.5 or full game team total over 4.5. Now, Flush Allen says Phillies bullpen is trash. Luke Murphy says Phillies team total over is a better look. Okay, let's break this down more. So we have 82 Fahrenheit, 6 miles per hour in. Let's talk with Wheeler first. Okay, so Wheeler is going up against this lineup that's going to be a little worse without Trey Turner, or quite a bit worse without Trey Turner in it. But the Nationals last 30 days have been destroying righties, 271, 783 OPS. So let's go over to baseball data here. Baseball data against these guys. They're hitting 301 with an 824 OPS. Now that includes Trey Turner, who's batting 286 with a 759 OPS. But that's enough for me to say, do I really want Wheeler as this big of a favorite? And the answer is no. He's too big of a favorite. And let's go to that market right now. Now, I'm not going to be surprised if Wheeler in his third straight home start has an incredible start and, they easily get by the Nats. There wouldn't be a shock here. But is he worth this big of a favorite? And money keeps pouring in on the Phillies. They open up at minus 175. They're now minus 216. There's been a 5-cent move to the over 8. So let's talk a little bit about Patrick Corbin and why you probably want to fade him. And I understand why you do want to fade him. Corbin, 6-9, 5.71 ERA, 1.45 whip, 104 innings, 80 Ks, 36 walks, 19 home runs. In Corbin's last start, he went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 6-1 loss to the Orioles. Look, he's bad. He's playing bad. Phillies first lefties the last 30 days, 237, 742 OPS. Now, the Nats bullpen over the last 30 days has been unbelievably bad. 6.33 ERA, 1.53 whip, converted 5 of 11. Phillies bullpen's been bad as well, but not nearly as bad as the Nats. 4.99 ERA, 1.50 whip, converted 6 of 9. So let's go to Patrick Corbin. Corbin has been pretty good against these Phillies. 260 with a 722 OPS. And who hits him? Harper, 286, 768 OPS. He's 8 for 28 with 2 homers. Oh, no, sorry, with 0 homers. Excuse me. Sorry, I was looking at runs. He's only allowed 2 home runs. Corbin's allowed 2 home runs in 169 at-bats against these Phillies. Now, look, he's bad. Wow, Hurricanes get Freddie Anderson. That's what they're going to do? God, that makes no sense. Key says you think you can cover UFC on Fridays. It might be an important addition. You're right, Key. It's good thinking. Okay, so Vital says checking the Phillies batting average for Corbin. It seems the Phillies have seen them a lot. Phillies have seen them a lot and have nice averages. Go again. So, yeah, overall, they're 260 against them. McCutcheon, 7 for 36 at 194. Real Muto, 238. So, just no power numbers. 2 home runs. So, look, there's enough for me to say, look, I don't want the Phillies as this big of a favorite. Now, let's see when we come up with the cash flow, what we're expecting to see here, and I haven't looked, is huge amounts of money on the Phillies. And 68% of the tickets on the Phillies, 88% of the cash. Then we have 46% of the tickets and 61% of cash on the under. So this is and I'm not saying the Phillies are Dougie Hamilton. With the Devils? Wow. Wow, Slatsy. Wow. Okay, so no move for me in Nats, Phillies. And we move on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Atlanta Braves 50-51, 24-26 on the road at the New York Mets, 53-46, 31-17 at home. We're at Citi Field in Queens, New York. Let me preface this by saying I'm on the Mets first 5 minus 120. Let me also preface this game with I take this shit real seriously. I want us to win together. I want out of Parkdale. I want to improve our lives. The cappers that we have on the show, I want to succeed. I want them to dig deep and give out winners. And Jose is no exception. Jose was struggling mightily, and we had to light a fire under his ass. He had to grow a mustache, and he had to show that he cared. He's now on a 4-game winning streak. And I need more winners from him. I need more winners bad. Let's bring him on right now. Please welcome star of the Say Hey play of the day, winner of 4 straight, because he started taking this shit seriously. Please welcome Jose to the show.
Hello, Jimmy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for the mustache cam. I have a question for you, Jose.
I'm scared for the question.
Are you taking this shit seriously?
Not seriously enough.
Jesus Christ, Jose! Don't joke around! I'm not here for your goddamn gags! I'm here for your winners! I need you to focus and give us winners and not be the slap-happy, goofy motherfucker, all right?
I would never use those words to describe myself. So let's get into it, Jimmy. I'm ready. I've never been more ready.
This shit seriously, Jose.
Yes.
Winner of 4 straight right now, Jose. grew a mustache, started showing some fucking strength. And I need more! I need more of it, Jose! Atlanta Braves at New York Mets is what Jose is focusing on here. Citi Field in Queens, New York. 79 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour sideways in. I moved on the Mets' first 5. Max Fried going up against Tyler McGill. McGill has been excellent. He's gone up against tough offenses, and he keeps rising to the challenge. He was a strikeout king in the minors. He's not forcing strikeouts in the show. Jose, how are you going to win your 5th straight game and get that much closer to the black on this show?
Jimmy, I've got some bad news. It looks like we might be on the opposite sides of things here.
Okay.
Not directly though, thankfully, because I'd never directly go head to head against you. I guess we don't have to talk about my victory. I won't take my victory lap.
No,
but
you
I will.
should. You should. Look, I've seen enough weakness out of you to last a lifetime. And yesterday you stood up. You were a man with a mustache. And you took Loshak on and you beat him. Now I need a 5th straight winner, Jose.
Oh, yes, you're right. And like we said, I'm streaky. And in this streak, I've looked at team totals. I look at all the games, and the first one that jumps out at me usually ends up being my pick. Yesterday, it happened to be the Mariners at 3.5. Today, we've got another 3.5, and it is those Atlanta Braves at 3.5. Now, I understand what you guys are saying about Miguel, but I think at some point these young pitchers always hit the damn. This is the major leagues moment. You know that we've had those moments for everyone, and I think that Miguel might be in store for one here soon. The Braves, I would say, are getting back into it. You know, we kind of thought they were dead in the water, but they add Jock Peterson, and it turns out to be pretty good. And guess what, Jimmy? This is going to be Miguel's 3rd time seeing these Braves. So I think that familiarity is on their side. I think that we've got the youth and inexperience of seeing a team 3 times. Maybe he will make those adjustments. Braves see him again. I like my chances here, and 3.5 for the full game just seems way low. Just seems too low. So give me the Braves team total over 3.5. And currently at Pinnacle, our friends at Pinnacle, the over 3.5 is -111 for these Atlanta Braves.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting breakdown. When we go to the batter versus pitcher data, Tyler Miguel, 240 with a 656 OPS against him. I understand your idea about the 3rd start. I do think that having the 3rd start, it's pretty nice to not see Ronald Acuna Jr. in the lineup. It's Max Fried who I think is more vulnerable here. 248, 755 OPS against these Mets. But the Mets over the last 30 days are hitting lefties 284 with an 806 OPS. Braves are hitting righties pretty hard last 30 days, 258, 768 OPS. Fried's last start, 5-1 loss at the Phillies. He went up against Wheeler. He was clearly the 2nd best pitcher in the game. 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 4 walks, 6 Ks. And the Mets are hitting lefties much harder than the Phillies are right now. So, and then a big shock to me with how well the Mets are playing these days is their bullpen over the last 30 days. Now, I have this, recency bias of how good the Mets bullpen looked against the Jays, but the Mets bullpen 5.06 ERA, 1.57 WHIP, converted 8 of 13 save opportunities. Braves bullpen being awesome, 3.46 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, converted 4 of 7 save opportunities. All right, let's take a look at the market here. Here we go with this Mets spot. We have the Mets opening up at -125. They're now -126. This total has gone from 8 down to 7.5. Cash flow here. We have 56% of the tickets on the Mets and 90% of the cash on the Mets. And what was that? A 1 cent move towards them? Frightening. Mm-hmm. That's frightening. That scares me.
That's sus.
Very suspect. 63% of the tickets on the over, 82% of the cash on the over, but we don't know when that came in at 7.5 or 8. Okay. Jose.
Jimmy, can I ask you a question real fast? Who's Tom Selleck?
Oh, Jesus, Jose.
Okay, you don't have to answer. Continue. I just wanted to show you that I don't know anyone again.
Tom Selleck is the greatest private investigator of my generation. All right? And he also happened to have a mustache. Now, he didn't have your sloppy tits, but he had
replicate those.
He had the same mustache.
A lot of good nicknames coming in, by the way, from the chat. I've gotten the dartboard from Vitalis. That's a good one.
That is nice.
That is a nice one. And Razor comes in with the third eyebrow for the mustache. So a lot of good names. A lot of good names.
That is nice. Jose, I want you to win your 5th straight. And I want you to take this shit seriously. Get into the black, comb your hair, and keep growing that mustache.
I will not comb my hair, and the mustache will grow until the end of the month. So hell yeah.
Don't you fucking think it's only going to grow to the end of the month?
Don't you fucking think it's not? You know, Jimmy, I hope you realize that mustache is going to be shaved on air. I'm going to shave it right in front of your fucking face.
Well, let me tell you this then, to come back at that. You are not welcome on this show unless you have a mustache.
Fair is fair, I guess. The Say Hey Play of the Day might be on hiatus for a couple of weeks soon. Who knows?
All right, there he is, Jose, star of the Say Hey Play of the Day. Going for 5 straight. Thank you for sharing your hard work with us. We love you, Jose. Keep the winners coming. Well, I am on the Mets first 5 at -120. I was shocked at those bullpen stats. As I said, with the MLB stats side of things, MLB.com stats kind of bugging out. I hadn't pulled up the last 30 days of the bullpens, and I was a little surprised that the Mets bullpen had struggled because they looked very good against a tough Toronto Blue Jays squad. And I'm on the Mets first 5 -120, and I'm very concerned that there's that much money on the Mets and the market has not moved towards them. I'm very, very concerned. There's our FAP win in the house. Australian racing today. Wyong race 6, the 9 Sniper Legend. Beautiful. Wyong, thank you so much. This is exactly what I'm talking about. All the cappers working together to beat up their bookies or the books. And I love it. FAP, you are a great friend of all of us, and we love capping with you. All right, there we go. Jose going for 5 straight W's, and we move on. We move on to 8:05 p.m. Eastern. We just talked about Jose's Say Hey Play of the day, and we move right over to none other than sweet Taint. Yesterday, Taint and I were on the same bet. I don't know what Taint is going to be before I come into the show. Sometimes when he can't be here, he'll send it to me beforehand, or if he's not sure if he's going to make it in the show, Maddie will send it to me beforehand. But I don't know. This is now 2 days in a row where Taint and I are on the same play, and I like this bet quite a bit. Diamondbacks first 5. Taint got the Diamondbacks first 5 at -105. I got Diamondbacks first 5 at -110. Let's break this down. Diamondbacks 31-71, 12-41 on the road at Texas Rangers, 36-65, 23-25 at home. We're at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. The roof is closed. It is very, very hot in certain parts of the states right now. And the only game where it's truly going to affect what happens on the field is White Sox Royals, where it's going to feel like 109 Fahrenheit at first pitch at 7 p.m. But there's a roof closed here. Madison Bumgarner, 4-6, 5.09 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, 70 2/3, 69 Ks, 19 walks, 11 home runs. Last start was okay. It was good enough. He allowed 3 runs. Only 1 was earned. He only struck out 1. Look, there are red flags with Madison Bumgarner, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you there aren't. But the Rangers over the last 30 days are hitting .204 with a .616 OPS versus lefties. Abysmal. And with the roof closed, I think that Bumgarner can get us through here. Jordan Lyles on the other side, I think, is a train wreck. I want to destroy Jordan Lyles. I want to bet against him every time I see him on the bump. His last start at Detroit, we cashed against him. He went 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 homers, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and a 4-2 loss. He was able to bend but not break. Bend but not break. The Diamondbacks versus righties last 30 days, 236, 702 OPS. I want nothing to do. Isaiah says, how do you find the Discord? We'll get one of our guys. Maybe Jose could pop that into the chat for you, the Discord link. All right. Diamondbacks bullpen last 30 days, 5.34 ERA, 1.53 whip, being really bad. The Rangers bullpen really hasn't been that bad. 4.27 ERA, 1.24 whip. So here we go. Let's move over to the market in this spot. The Rangers open up as lukewarm favorites. Now the Diamondbacks are favorites. This total opened up at 9, just to the under. There's been no movement there. Let's go to the first 5 because that's where I'm on the Diamondbacks. And let's go over to the money line. Let's pick a book that we know would get this line out early and see where the market has gone. We're going to go to Bet Online. How about that? And there's no movement in any of these books on this first 5. No movement on these books right now. Vital says Laws comes in with a FIP of 5.52, one of the worst I've seen, and the Rangers in the first 5 last 10 are 1-9. Real Deal Prime says Diamondbacks got my money today. Gas Station Sushi says leaning Rangers. Okay, so let's go to the baseball data here. Against Bumgarner, these guys are hitting 256 with a 694 OPS. Now, small sample size, 10 of 35, but no triples, no homers. Against Jordan Lyles, 266 with a 780 OPS. Look, Lyles makes me uncomfortable. He bends but doesn't break. If you use your eye test, you're like, this guy's terrible, but he seems to succeed. But I'm on the Diamondbacks first 5. Now let's take a look at where the cash is here. We have 53% of the tickets and 15% of the cash on Texas. 47% of the tickets and 60% of the cash on the under. All right, Kyle H says Lyle's going to give up 3 bombs. Taint is on the Diamondbacks first 5. I'm on the Diamondbacks first 5. But Taint has won 3 straight. Taint is going to get white hot. And if Taint continues to be white hot, I will cash as well. And so will many of you. Hey! We move on to 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Reds 52-49, 26-23 on the road at Chicago Cubs 50-52, 31-19 at home. Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. Man, we capped this so beautifully yesterday. And, I just set the table really for Pete. And after Pete's breakdown, I was not afraid to take that first 5 over, even though it had moved from 5 to 5.5 and it cashed. Also, shout out to Deacon Mike. So now that I believe, I believe that's 8 of the last 9 bets he's taken the Cubs Reds over 2.5 homers. But I'm not sure if he was going to pull the trigger today. And let me go over to a message from my man Deacon to see if he decided. Here he is. Oh, wait. No, here we go. Deacon. He goes, not sure if I'm betting the over home run total in tonight's game. All depends on game time, wind direction, and if the Cubs' main players are in the lineup. Because we know that Chris Bryant could be traded. And playing devil's advocate, Vitalis, D-backs at home, first 5, 14, 35, and 4. They've been terrible first 5. Look, this is predicated on, I think I have a slight advantage on the mound, but I know that with the sticks, I have an advantage with the Diamondbacks versus righties against Rangers versus lefties. Okay. Let's go. Reds, Cubs. Reds are 52-49, 26-23 on the road. Cubbies 50-52, 31-19 at home. We're at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. 83 Fahrenheit, humid, 8 miles per hour, sideways out to left field. Tyler Mahle going up against Zach Davies. Mahle 7-3, 3.92 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, 105 2/3, 131 Ks, which is nice, but 42 walks, a little too high, and 16 home runs allowed. Last start was okay. It was decent. It was a 6-5 win at home versus the St. Louis Cardinals. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. There were solo shots, 4 walks, and 5 Ks. Zach Davies on the other side, 6-6, 4.30 ERA, 1.49 WHIP, 102 2/3, 70 Ks, 54 walks, and 9 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 1/3, allowed 7 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and an 8-3 win at home versus the Diamondbacks. The Reds versus righties over the last 30 days, 252 with a 761 OPS. The Cubs versus righties over the last 30 days, 225 with a 689 OPS. TJ says Reds want the series. After what Baez did, they came out yesterday with a will to win. They care and want it. Robert Allen says Reds are 6-1 on the run line on the road in their last 7. Kyle H says over 2.5 homers is the best prop ever. Let's get rich. It's been very impressive, but interesting that Deacon wasn't just going to hammer it with Davies up against Molly. The Cubs bullpen over the last 30 days has been a complete train wreck. 6.28 ERA, 1.52 whip have converted 4 of 7 save opportunities. The Reds bullpen over the last 30 days, 4.64 ERA, 1.42 whip have converted 10 of 18 save opportunities. Let's go to the baseball data. Molly's been good against these Cubs. 208 average, 719 OPS. And the person who hits him the hardest, Chris Bryant, it's possible, is traded before this game goes. He's 7 for 18 with 2 doubles and 3 homers against Molly. Against Zach Davies, these Reds are hitting 302 with an 839 OPS. They get to him. Fap wins as unleashing a load, Cincinnati money line. Robert Allen says under is hitting 4 of the last 6 head-to-head Cubs versus Reds. Vital says Indians, Cardinals both share horrible first 5 win rate. Indians bad at home, Cards bad away. Okay, and I am on the Cards first 5. So I'm backing 2 teams in the Cards and Diamondbacks who have really bad first 5 averages. But one of the things that we've been doing and that my ROI skyrocketed is when Gas Station said there's no momentum in baseball and we just focus on each game as its own individual entity. Jeff T says we'll need to see Molly's K prop, Cubs K a lot. So let's take a look at the market move here in this game. We're going to go back to full game money lines and totals here for Cubbies Reds. This total opened up at 9.5. It's now at 10. The Reds and Molly opened up at -108. They're now at -107. A 1 cent move towards the Cubs. Let's take a look at the cash flow. Just 1,614 tickets in. So it's not to make too big of a deal about this, but 36% of tickets and 54% of the cash on the Cubs. 42% of tickets and 84% of cash on the under. And yet it's moved from 9.5 to 10. Eric Benawis, I would use Fangraphs for the last 30 days information. That'd be the most... Fangraphs, baseball reference, Fangraphs, I guess. And Millsy saying that Bryant will be traded to the Giants. I hope that's the case. Kyle H uses Savant. That's a great site, too. Great site. TJ says, I'm taking Reds money line now. Bryant hits Molly best, so if he's out, we get a steal at the current line. Okay. I'm uncomfortable with this spot. Vital says Cubs play better at home. Cubs first 5, 27, 17, and 6. But really, what do they have to play for? They are professionals, though. And the teams don't like each other. That's a good question, Ski. Is it the biggest change in the season versus previous less successful seasons? It's a big change. I'd say that's the biggest change. I mean, there's no doubt that my ROI also made a big jump as soon as we started really focusing on where the money was. So, and both of those happened right around the same time. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had a really bad week and one just terrible day. And at the end of that day, I was down about 12 units on the season, 12.89 or something. And that's when we did those 2 changes. We started looking at the money and started using each game as an individual entity. So I'd say both of those. Okay, so Reds, Cubs. I'm a little concerned about Davies at home. And Dennis Trusty giving us a look at Saratoga race 6. I'm a little concerned. Deacon Mike there, he says, might bet Reds, Cubs over 2.5 homers again. All depends on wind weather because it does change. But right now we have 8 miles per hour sideways, slightly out to left. So if I was going to take the Reds, I would take them full game. I would not take them first 5 as I would be concerned about a nice start from Zach Davies. If I'm concerned about a nice start from Zach Davies at home, then I would prefer to make a live bet rather than bet on the Reds early. And I don't trust Molly. But Molly has these splits that are very interesting. So let's pull them up right now because I believe Molly gets rocked at home So let's just do this very, very quickly. And then his road stats are very good. So here we go. Let's just quickly move over to this Cincinnati Reds spot. We just have 3 games left on the docket, and the Babano C-Max show has now moved to 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Eastern. So let's take a look at the splits for Molly. I know that Davy's splits aren't huge. There's no real big difference for him at home than they are on the road. But he has now consecutive home starts, which I think. And there we go. So Molly on the road, 2.26 ERA. Very strong on the road. Opponent's rating 189 off of him. Mike M says 5-1 on the road. He's a killer. The taint play of the day, Dominic, is the Diamondbacks first 5. Diamondbacks first 5. TJ says total moving up with the money on the under. Books don't think Davy's going to have a great start. So Molly pitches well on the road. The Reds have a ton to play for. The Cubs are mailing it in. Let's go back to this baseball data one more time. Against Davies, who hits him? Winker 5 for 9 with a homer. Votto 11 for 31. Suarez 9 for 32. And then who knows if Chris Bryant will even be in the lineup at this point, if he's going to be moved. We know the Cubs bullpen is an absolute train wreck. Robbie Allen says Molly 105, 105.2 innings, 131 Ks. Dude's a beast. Reds first 5 is maybe a bet today. I don't think it should be. Robbie Allen, the Cubs bullpen is such a mess, such a horrific mess right now. And the Reds have just added to their bullpen. Also, the Cubs aren't hitting righties. I would prefer a full game. I'm leaning towards the Reds. I'm leaning towards the Reds full game. And Deacon says Chris Bryant 3 home runs off Molly, but will he be in the lineup? Will he be in the lineup? Do we want to risk him getting hurt at this point if you know he's getting moved? All right, I think I'm moving on. I think this will be my first edition. I've not added anything. I have 7 bets before I came in here. I'm leaning towards the Reds full game. All right, let's move on. 8:10 p.m. Eastern is next up on the docket. Chicago White Sox 60-41, 25-24 on the road at Kansas City Royals, 43-56, 26-25 at home. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. So this is the spot on the card where the temperature is really going to play a role here. 93 Fahrenheit, but it feels like 108 Fahrenheit at first pitch. It's very humid in Missouri. 8 miles per hour out to left. So how are these guys going to handle the heat? Giolito, 8-7, 3.78 ERA, 1.14 whip, 119 innings, 136 Ks, 38 walks, 19 home runs. His last start, he went 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 5 walks, 3 Ks, and a 7-1 loss at Milwaukee. We cashed that first 5 under very, very easily in that spot. And Giolito was coming off a 9-inning complete game. Bubic, on the other hand, is somebody that I like. And I know he's taken his fair amount of hard hits this year, but he's somebody that I believe in. 3-4, 4.72 ERA, 1.50 whip, 68 2/3, 57 Ks, 35 walks, 14 home runs. Brittany Clasby, thank you for the very kind words. And got KC to upset the White Sox at home. Brittany's got KC to upset the White Sox at home. Very interesting. White Sox first lefties, 231, 699 OPS over their last 30 days. We think we have this vividness of the White Sox raking against lefties. They're smashing righties. They're first in the league against righties over the last 30 days, but they're not hitting lefties. Royals versus righties, 249, 702 OPS. It's hard to believe that in this spot, Royals versus righties, White Sox versus lefties, that you actually have an advantage with the Royal sticks. White Sox bullpen last 30 days, 4.52 ERA, 1.21 whip, have converted 6 of 8 save opportunities. The Royals bullpen, 6.17 ERA, 1.42 whip, have converted 7-11 save opportunities. And Ralph Nunziata, OG Lowbagger, says Cardinals W versus Guardians, easy as pie. And Jeff T says that Chicago White Sox versus lefties train has ended. Robbie Don says White Sox dominate the Royals. They're 11-1 versus the Royals in the last 12 and 10-1 on the run line versus the Royals in the last 11. And Billy Friedrich, great point. Eloy Jimenez back and a huge 3-run homer game winner last night. Brian Watson looking at the under. I don't know what to do with this 108 Fahrenheit. I don't know what to do with it. So we know that Giolito was one of the guys that got talked to a lot about the sticky substances. And he's a big boy. It's going to be really hot. His hands are going to be sweating buckets. I don't know what to do. Mark Schillenberg says, I was all over KC for 5 years today. Keller pitching very well. Like, great call, Mark. So I feel like there is a factor in this game that I don't know what to do with. And that makes me not want to put any money on it. Giolito against these guys, 203, 689 OPS. Bubic against these guys, 184, 563 OPS. I mean, the more we talk about it, the more I think there's probably value. I'm probably with Brittany here thinking that there's value on the Royals, but let's see what that line would even be. And again, if you're betting the Royals, it would have to be first 5, but you really feel like you have an advantage with Bubic over Giolito? This total opened up at 10. It's still there. The White Sox opened up at minus 175. They're now minus 171. I think if we go here and look at the cash flow, and there's a ton of cash on the White Sox, I think maybe we have our red flag. 84% of the tickets and 82% of the cash on the White Sox, and yet a 4-cent move to the Royals. Wow. Then 46% of tickets and 87% of cash on the under. Wild. Absolutely wild. Peanuts is back in the public today. Pittsburgh, Washington, KC, Colorado. Oh, bucking the public. Excuse me. Sorry, of course, Peanut. Bucking the public. Pittsburgh, Washington, KC, Colorado. Mike M says White Sox historically a bad road team. Started hot, starting to regress to their history. I like what Brittany's doing. I don't have the balls to probably take the Royals here. I'm going to stay off this game. If I had a free play, I'd love to take the Royals on a big cash line first 5. But this is a stay away spot for me. I imagine that Bubic will handle 108 Fahrenheit better than Giolito just because he's got less weight on him. But okay, so we move on. All right, 9:38 p.m. Eastern. We have 2 games left on this card. Great work, everybody. God, we're running real hot, and I need it to continue. We've only had 1 losing day since the All-Star break, and we're now up double-digit units in the second half, and we're very close to the high water mark of the season. We're actually less than a unit away from the high water mark of the season. All right. Brittany saying Soler's been hot. Vital says Bubic has a 5.75 FIP. If the White Sox can't hit him, just fire La Russa. White Sox first 5 away, 24, 18, and 7. Okay, let's move on. Colorado Rockies at Los Angeles Angels. That over last night was very easy. Had I been even, a better capper, I would have also taken the Rockies because I told you, I was saying, look at Suarez's numbers. He's not that good. And we have to take advantage of pitchers when they display those simple statistics of just ERA and WHIP and win-loss, when they display those really low numbers and they're not that good. And that's why I'm not on the Tigers today, because I think Willie Peralta falls under that Jose Suarez umbrella of not being as good as the pitchers, as the statistics indicate. Okay, let's get back to work here. Rockies, Angel Stadium, Anaheim, California. And I wonder if we go right back to the well. I really do. What would be holding me back from thinking that there's going to be continued offense, and this is something that Nutflush Allen talked to us about at Angel Stadium, is when it gets hot around this time of year and the wind's blowing out, the runs come. And Chichi Gonzalez is someone that I love to expect offense against him. He's a really slow pitching, a soft tosser, and he has 53 Ks in 90 2/3. Okay, so let's break this down. And again, 81 Fahrenheit, clear, 9 miles per hour to right center. We have Chichi, 3 and 6, 6.06 ERA, 1.46 WHIP, 90 2/3, 53 Ks, 24 walks, 16 home runs in his last start. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and a 9-6 extra inning win at the Dodgers. Heaney, I just can't figure him out. I haven't got killed by him, but I guess I look at his numbers and I think he's going to get hit all the time. So he has some nice starts, and when he does, I lose. 6 and 7, 5.32 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, 88 innings, 105 Ks, 28 walks, 15 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 2 walks, 7 Ks, and a 3-2 win at the Twins. The Rockies over their last 30 days have not been hitting lefties as hard as they were earlier. 246, 730 OPS. And Angels versus righties haven't had as much power over the last 30 days as they had earlier. 259 with a 734 OPS. Rockies bullpen 4.43 ERA, 1.42 WHIP over the last 30 days, converted 6 of 10. Angels bullpen has been actually better, a 4.37 ERA, but high WHIP 1.47 have converted 8 of 12. And Corey Thomas says Detroit going to roll. the public's all over them, so I hope they do for you. Okay, so let's take a look at the baseball data here. Only Kurt Suzuki seen Chichi. And against Heaney, they're 10 for 30 with a double and a triple, no homers. Trevor Story, 2 for 5. Charlie Blackmon, 5 for 9. All right. Now let's take a look at what the odds have done in this spot. This total opened up at 9, and there is a 9.5 on the board at Bet Online. This 9 is becoming more juiced as we speak. Let me see if they've moved it to 9.5 at Bet 365. No, it's at minus 120. All right, so the Angels haven't seen Chichi, but I don't think he's that hard to figure out. Let's see where the cash flow is. Here we go. We have 76% of tickets on the Angels and 80% of cash. 80% of the cash, and the Angels have gone from minus 198 to minus 207, so 9-cent move. Then for the total, we have 43% of the tickets and 76% of the cash on the under, and it's moving slightly to the over. I cashed on this over yesterday. I'm not going to go back to the well. If I had a free play, I'd probably take it. Let's just look at Heaney's splits very quickly here. He's coming off a nice start against the Twins. I'm going to pull up Heaney's splits. He's not had a very good season. All right, here we go. And at home, he's a 5.72 ERA. Opponents are hitting 272 against him. And you have to think Chichi will get touched. I guess I'll let the market keep me off this. There's clearly some sharp action on the under with 77% of cash and just 43% of tickets. I imagine that there will be a group of the public out there who will have a recency bias over what they saw yesterday. So I am off. Let's go to the last spot on the card, and I like this bet very, very much. I'm on the Los Angeles Dodgers first 4.5 at minus a half and minus 120, getting 5 at-bats to the San Francisco Giants, 4 at-bats. I like it a lot. Dodgers 61-41, 28-23 on the road at San Francisco Giants, 63-37, 32-15 at home. I could have just taken the Dodgers first 5 money line at minus 145. I much prefer this. Get the juice down, get the 5 at-bats over the 4, and have to have a lead at that point. Billy Friedrich says Dodgers first 5 going big on that 3 units. Good luck, my man. Go get it. Oracle Park in San Francisco, California, 63 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour out to left center. Walker Buehler is a pitcher I trust in situations like this. Now, I don't want the Dodgers full game. I don't want to mess with what's going on with the Giants. But I do trust Buehler to deliver a really good performance when the Dodgers need it most. He's a high-character guy. 10-1, 2.31 ERA, 0.91 WHIP, 128 and 2/3, 131 Ks, 29 walks, 13 home runs. His last start was at home to these Giants. He pitched very well. 7 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 1 walk, 9 Ks. We dealt with this situation yesterday where 2 pitchers were seeing the opponents again 5 days later, and we took the full game under, and it was a very comfortable, very easy casher. I'm not against that, but I don't know how much I trust. DeSclafani's pitching so well, but and I don't want to use an eye test in a sport as complicated as baseball, but he just doesn't show me that he's as good as we see. Vitalis says Dodgers have a history at hitting DeSclafani. There's Ricky Levine in the house. Says Jimmy Ricky Levine, OG Lowbagger says this Angels team hard to bet on, so up and down all the time. Luke Murphy looking at a Turner home run prop. Okay, so let's break this down a little more. DeSclafani, 10-4, 2.87 ERA, 1 WHIP. They've just done magic. They performed magic with him here. His last start, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 7 Ks, 5-3 win at the Dodgers. The Dodgers last 30 days versus righties, 241, 757 OPS. Giants last 30 days, 249, 801 OPS. The Giants bullpen over the last 30 days, 3.05 or 3.09 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, 7 of 9. Brian Watson, minus 145 at Bet365. Yeah, Brian, go over to the first 4.5. I mean, it's up to you. But I like the first 4.5, a minus a half at minus 120. Get 25 cents less juice on it. And you got 5 at-bats to 4, and you have to have a lead. So I kind of like that spot. And the Dodgers bullpen hasn't been as bad as we imagined it to be over the last little while. 3.71 ERA, 1.27 whip, have converted 5 of 12 save opportunities. Okay, let's take a look at the market here in this spot. Actually, why don't we do baseball data first? Let's do baseball data. Against Buehler, these guys are hitting 194 with a 562 OPS. They're 19 for 98 with 1 home run. Impressive. Against DeSclafani, the Dodgers are hitting 316 and 877 OPS, and they're now seeing him again a week later. Billy Frieder says DeSclafani is an ERA of just under 9 in 4 games versus the Dodgers this season. Buehler, ERA of 1 in 4 games with Giants. Great stat, Billy. Great stat there. So then let's move over to the market in this spot. This is the last game on the card. We have the Dodgers opening up at minus 136. They're now minus 123. A 13-cent move towards the San Francisco Giants. And let's see what the total here, or the cash, where the cash is. 58% of the tickets on the Dodgers, 47% of the cash. Very interesting. 46% of the tickets on the over and 97% of the cash on the over. Wild. So big bets made on the over. I'm very comfortable with this spot. First 4.5, minus a half, and minus 120. And it now looks like after we broke down the entire card, 16-game card, that I'll only have 1 audition and quite possibly 2. I just can't bet the Red Sox game 2 before I see what goes on in game 1. And there's been a slight market move already to the Jays in game 2, which I do find surprising. All right. There you go. Excellent work. All of us working together. Let's bang this out now and review everybody's action and where we stand. Tigers, Twins, I am off. My card starts with the St. Louis Cardinals first 5 at minus 120. Puzzler took Will Smith over 1.5 bases at plus 110. And yeah, Brian Watson, that's what I did. Exactly what I did. Okay. So I start with cards, first 5 minus 120. And then I'm still looking at this first 5 over 6 in game 1 of the Blue Jays Red Sox 7-inning doubleheader. It's an afternoon game. It's an early start. Players are out of their routine. Do you really want to trust offense here? Let's go back to the cash flows. We're going to have more bets now on it. So we have, we don't know exactly what's going on because it's all the tickets from yesterday as well. All right, and TJ says, again, sorry for the plug, but check out the back 9 in 2 hours on this channel, 3 p.m. Eastern, our new golf show. First 5 over 6. Has the market still been moving on that first game towards the under? Yes, it is. Still moving towards that under. Okay. Red Sox game 2, I do want. So I don't think I'm going to move on this first 5 over 6, but I'm certainly going to be humming and hawing. And if I do bet it, I'll then post it on Twitter. But okay, so we move on. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 125 in Houston, Seattle. The Dirty K prop of the day, over 6.5 Ks at plus 100 for Blake Snell. And I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 120 at Oakland and San Diego. Then Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is now won 5 straight. He's on Tampa Bay minus 126 for the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day. 5-0 on this channel. And I'm off the Yankees Rays. I'm on the Orioles first 5 at minus 115. That spot took a lot of flack. Robert Allen's play of the day is Seattle Cleveland, no run first inning. Seattle Cleveland, no run first inning. Then Brewers Pirates. If it is Max Kranick, let's see if that's being confirmed here. I will dive into that deeper. Nationals, Phillies, I'm off. Mets, first 5, minus 120. I'm very uncomfortable with the amount of money that's on the Mets in the market moving towards the Braves. And I'm very nervous about that. Jose Seje, play of the day, going for the 5th straight win, is on the Braves team total over 3.5 at minus 111. Nut Flush Allen, our resident San Francisco Giants expert, says tread lightly on the under in the San Francisco game. I'm just on Dodgers first 4.5. Then the taint play of the day is the Diamondbacks first 5 at minus 110. I'm already on it. Diamondbacks first 5, he got minus 105. I got minus 110. Then the one addition I think I may make is the Reds full game. Close to moving on the Reds full game. And this total's gone from 9.5 to 10. I wonder what the first 5 has done. First 5, 4-cent move towards the over. Let's take a look at the cash flow again in that Cubbies game. 40% of tickets on the under, 84% of cash on the under. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I have a pretty legitimate expectation that Davies has a good enough start. And if Davies has a good enough start, I think that Malley will have a good start. So why wouldn't I take that first 5 under? Let's just take one last look at what the wind is doing in that spot. Very quickly here, move over to weather. Baseball data. I'm using daily baseball data for these stats, and we've had Cappers talk about what sites to focus on. Fangraphs. I should have mentioned baseball data as well. Let's just go to this Cubs spot here. It's 5 miles per hour now, and it moves up till 7. It's humid. Good weather for offense. That's tough. And gas station's top play is the Braves. That makes me very uncomfortable. I don't know what to do with the Reds-Cubs game. I certainly lean towards the Reds full game, and I kind of lean towards the first 5 under 5, but it's very offensive weather. And I think it's just going to need more time. White Sox, Royals, I'm off, but Brittany made some really nice points while she's back in the dog. Then Rockies, Angels, I cashed with the over yesterday. I'm not going back to the well. And the Dodgers first 4.5 at -0.5 at -120. And there you have it. Fap Win gave us Wyong in Australian racing, race 6, the 9 Sniper Legend. So I'm going to pop that into the chat right here. And Patrick Buelna says, bet the Reds, Cubs might be sitting players that are trying to trade. I agree. I think you're right. MDR says, are Reds bats finally going to wake up? Team total over, maybe. Dennis Trusty also gave us a look here at Saratoga, race 6. I'm going to copy and paste this. And, that's a little too, let me just move, I'll just go Auto Trusty. So this is from Dennis Trusty. Here we go. Patrick Buelna liking the Royals and Rockies as big dogs. Okay, so there you have it. Thank you guys so much for rolling with us. I guess I'm just going to spend a little bit more time on the Reds game. I already have 7 bets in. I feel pretty comfortable with the spot, but I may be adding that. It is if the Cubs are resting players, and I can think that Davies is going to have a nice start, then why wouldn't I take that first 5 under 5? Do I really see 6 runs? If Molly looks good on the road, the Cubs are not hitting righties, then that whole bet would come down to whether Davies has a nice start on the road, or at home. So let me just check out that very quickly one last time. Here we go. Davies, 302, 839 OPS. I guess I'm not going to. And Sean V says Walker Buehler's 27th birthday today. That's a very interesting look, Sean. That's a very interesting connect there. Okay. You guys, we have no show without you guys. You guys make this show special. Thank you for all your hard work, your insights, your humor in the chat. Truly, truly, we recognize it, and we're very thankful. Thank you, guys. Benjamin Martin, great to see you. Patrick Buelna says Dodgers bullpen will cough it up. Thank you all for everything. Ben Martin, Patrick Buelna, MDR24, Real Deal Prime, Johnny K, Robert Allen, Patrick Buelna, Nut Flush Allen says, Jimmy, I will make it official Dodgers run line. Oh, wow. Very, very, very interesting. Fap Win in the house. Puzzler always has our back. Mally Mal, OG Lowbacker always has our back. Sean V, all you guys. Billy Friedrich, thank you guys so much for all your hard work. Oh, God, it scares me. Gas station scares me. Brian Watson, Corey Thomas, and Mr. Gokster and TJ will be live at 3 p.m. Eastern in their new golf show here on Pub Sports Radio. Let's stay hot. I really want to be here tomorrow with a new high watermark in MLB. It would really, really, really pump me the fuck up. And I want Jose to cash 5 straight. I want Taint to cash 4 straight. I want Dirty K to get back to its winning ways. I want Rusty Coots to get back to its winning ways. And I love you guys, and very thankful to have the opportunity to cap with you guys every day. Most importantly, though, don't forget, Babano and C-Max shows now at 4 p.m. and horse racing tonight. Horse racing, razor sharp picks at 7:30. Special guest from Stable Duels. We're going to have a special guest on the show, and I'm going to try to jump on late for the last 5 races at the Cinnabon. But most importantly, milk these fucking bookies, man. Lecce. Hey, those bookmakers!